So we'll just keep, excuse me, we'll keep continuing around with that same mask. So just drawing those dots. And this just makes it so when we animate his face, his facial shapes will actually look really clean and nice. And so probably one more span here, and then just go around. And I'll basically just smooth around here. There we go. And then from here, start drawing in the chin. Oops, let me get that a little closer. And also bring this down as well. So just add another span through here, going from the neck. So up as well for here. And we should be able to go almost up to the ear for here. There we go. And just going to shift smooth that. And shift smooth through here as well, into the neck. Just drawing into his neck there, and into the back of his head right there. And I'll start at the hair. So from here, we draw these polygons in here and to here. There we go. And we'll just make that adjustment here. We'll fill that in. Actually, if I turn off symmetry and go to that, should clean that up. So from here, I'm actually going to go up around his nose, and then also here and to the base of the ear. Actually, since I have this center line already, I can actually just select those polygons. And so from here, I'm going to turn off quad draw, select the surface, and hit Control 1. That'll actually just give me the isolate selection, and then I'm going to select faces. So faces, and then select those faces that are down the middle, and just delete them that way. And then we can kind of see what our mesh is actually looking like. So if we were to go to object mode and just click off, you can still see that it's all still faceted, and there's a quick way to get this to look smooth. And once we get to that, I'll show you how that works. And so we just go back to actual quad draw, and then hit Control 1. Again, that'll actually place us back to where we can see what we're working on as well. Alright, so we just going to continue on here. And so I'm actually going to place these right along here, the cheek. And this one's going to go right here. And up here. So it's basically going to start going around the eye socket. And this one goes right up here. Alright, so this way I'm going to go here and here. I'll start building around the nose there. And put this one here and here. Also build that. And so here and here. And then this one will go. Actually, we're going to have to break this in half here just so we can actually get around the nose. Oops. And bring this out. There we go. And then for this one, we just basically place a point up in there, and then we can just kind of throw these in here. There's a triangle here. Alright. Then from here, basically just kind of build this out straight. Actually hold down tab and left click, tab and left click, and tab, left drag. And also here for the side of the nose. Also here. And for this one, start building up into the top of the nose. Let's make sure that this is going to be centered here. So when we mirror over, let's make sure that's down the center line. Alright. Then here, actually place these points down through here. And so I'm just placing these points here. And just make sure that this is down the center line. This as well. So I got the nose and into the face, pretty much lower cheeks. And then from here, we'll start building the ridge around the eye socket. And so I just like to basically come down below the eyelid. So down here, and then that way when we get to this eyelid, we can actually have that extra the extra geometry for that eye. And then here as well, just come back up into there. For this eye, I'm probably going to split. Actually going to get rid of this one and then split this in half here, and then place this one, and then actually place a triangle right here, or actually just move that together. There we go. Actually, we can take multi-cut and come this way, and then go back to quad draw, and then we can actually just draw that there. And we'll get rid of this edge right here. So we can actually just multi-cut from here and go down here, and then go to quad draw, just drag that down there. That way our edge goes that way. So we can also just, if you hit Q and then F8 and then Control 1, we can actually go to that edge and just delete it. And then back to F8 again, and hit quad draw, and then Control 1. I'll place this back to here, so we're going to actually start building this, building around the eye. So with that, we'll just go from here to there. And actually, I'm just going to place a point here. So, actually just going to put that right at his eye. Actually cut that in half there. Let's kind of round that out a little bit better. And then place this kind of into the corner of his eyelid. And so when we're opening these eyes, we just want to make sure that we have enough geometry to actually, there you go, so we have that eyelid. So when we go to actually shape that eyelid, so we'll usually place a point here and here, and then from here, we'll just put that, actually, this will be kind of the corner of the eye there. And so that looks like it will work, although I do want to place one more cut in here and go, so if you hold down shift, it'll go 50%, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And then go back to quad draw, and then we can actually shape this out a little better. Just want a little bit more, so from this point, there we go. Actually undo that. I'm getting some snapping. Actually, I'm going to turn auto weld off for now, just so I can get that point a little better, a little closer to where I'm kind of looking for. So then I'll turn the auto weld back on. And that doesn't look too bad. Actually, I want to bring that, actually turn auto weld off again, And for this, I'm just going to bring these a little closer to this lip, to this edge for these eyelids. There we go. Alright, turn auto weld back on. Let's kind of move this. This is the cheekbone. So I'm going to actually hit shift and just kind of smooth through here. Smooth through his nose as well. And smooth through the nose. There we go. And also through here. Make sure his nose is, it's a little pointy right there, I guess. Want to actually add another cut just so I know that the edge is going to go that way on his nose. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, so we're getting there. And so from here, we'll go back to quad draw. I'm just going to draw up his hairline. And then also from here, I'm going to go across his brow ridge. So just move this out so this follows a little bit better. So we'll just continue around this brow ridge. Through here, and this one we can kind of bring up. There we go. Actually, you can just snap that up in there. That'll be a try right there. It's not too bad. Not a bad place to have a triangle. So just pushing this up onto his brow ridge a little more. So from here, actually so we'll start kind of right around where his eyebrow starts, and then just come right around the middle, which is kind of what we're looking for. So this is actually right at the head shape, which is what we're looking for. And then here. So right when we start actually animating and whatnot through here, actually just kind of smoothing this out a little bit. So when we animate his brows, the face is going to be basically kind of around the same area. So we want that geometry to still conform to around the same area as this. So that's why I place that right there, like that. So from here we can actually go triangle here. That way this cuts this up a little bit more. And here. So, and then we'll basically go kind of up to his hairline for the remainder of this. And so here we're probably going to go into another triangle, which is fine. Try there. Alright, for this next part we're going to just start on the back of the head. And so I just kind of want to look and see how this hair is actually looking. And so from here, just want to make sure that this is, and so I'm actually going to bring these down just so this actually will, so there we go. That way bring that down. Sometimes you just have to bring it more along a better surface and it should do a better job. So with this one, I'm going to delete this one right here. Just bring that one over here. So we just want to match that up with the hairline there, like so. And from here, you can actually just bring this down like here, just to outline that ear. And then just continue to bring this around here. And then gonna shift and relax this part right here to the head. And then just make sure that we're close to the center. And shift select that. Not shift select, just shift to smooth. And so this looks like it's collapsing into, not collapsing, it's actually getting placed back into the hair, or into the head. We want that to be a little bit more along the surface of that. So with this, I'm actually going to add one right there. Just bring this up a little bit. So there we go. Just making sure that we're kind of staying along with the same flow. And then you want this to kind of curve with the head. And so I'm just going to shift smooth that. And then from here, actually just draw that one out. And this is going to probably need a split right there. Just going along the top here, up to the hairline. And 2, 3. So I'm going to smooth that out just a little bit. Actually, then this one I'm actually going to place right about there. And here I'll probably have to add some more geometry through here. So right here, just kind of spreading this out a little bit. And then here, actually we have two, so 2 through here. Actually move this guy, oops. I'm going to move this one down just a touch here as well. And I'm actually going to just place this, yeah, just like that, and then snap. And then here as well. And then snap. There we go. And then also going to hit that with shift to smooth this out a little better. And just running along this area. Just kind of smooth that out a little better. Alright, so for the ear, we're actually going to follow along this ridge here. So I want to start this right like that, and so we'll actually just follow along in here, just kind of push that this way, and then also move this guy up a little bit just so we have, there we go, so we'll start that ear going that way. And so from here, we should be able to take this point and just move it. And here as well. And just moving, just kind of taking a look at where we are on the surface. So I just want to make sure that I'm a little forward on this. I want these to be more towards the front of the face there. So, and this one, same thing, just want to make sure that that's forward. And then from here we should be able to just complete that. And then right here, that puts that inside the ear. And from here we can probably put a point and just build that in like that. So we probably, actually with the multi-cut tool, I'm actually going to cut in here and then come up here as well. And then clear that. And go back to quad draw. And so from here, just actually building that ear shape out a little more. So this, I'm just bringing that forward a little bit. So this is kind of, it's looking pretty low poly, which is fine, kind of what I'm looking for, but may need to make some subdivisions. So with this, I want to actually add some depth to this ear. So here I'm just placing, and so here, yep, and then from here, just going to kind of piece this all together here. Don't want that so far, so actually I'm going to delete that face and then come up here and draw this face right here. Whoops. So I want to be able to see that back face right like so. So from here, we're just going to draw that out and drag and snap to this guy right here. There we go. And place that there. And this one, and here, you can actually just drag that out like so, like so. And for this one, I'm going to multi-cut from here and go this way, just so that edge is facing outwards and not. Alright, and then from here, to split this one, I'm actually going to delete this front face right here, go back to quad draw, delete this face, and then I'm actually going to go from here, and so drag this over to this guy going over here. So just going to make sure that I get into that face and move that where I want that, and then connect it and then move it. There we go. And then this one is going to be a little tricky, but if we place a point right here, we can make a quad here, quad here, and a try there. That looks fine. That ear will work. All right. So actually going to hit save. All right, so looking at the face, I'm just making some minor adjustments here, just to make sure that edge flow is working the way I want it to. So you notice these lines. So when our muscles pull up when we smile, they pull up. And so you'll notice that the flow is going this way, and then also you want the flow to actually go side to side as well. And so that kind of gives it that nice flow through there as well.